I've said this countless times, but I just want to say it one more time in its own video because it's so important. Love people, be willing to accept criticism, be willing to offer constructive criticism. Constructive criticism meaning, I love you, I don't like this behavior. Could we change that? Or can we flip it? Can we stop doing it? More likely change is a better solution. Stopping certain things is hard for, I think, people more than just changing up the behavior. But knowing that when we do this, we're not saying that the person's a bad person. I think people who play sports, both men and women who play sports, are much better at this because coaches tend to do this. I think Chef Ramsay is actually a funny example of this. When I first started watching Hell's Kitchen with one of my exes, we watched I don't know when I jumped in, what season it was, fifth season, third season, something like that. Um, I actually fell in love with the show. I thought it was an amazing show, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's such a dick," but I was like, "No, he's this athlete. You can tell he's this like coach because he breaks people down." And coaches maybe do it a little harsher than we need to do it. It can be loving, but he'll break people down of their bad habits and then rebuild them with good habits and good technique and new ways of thinking to even better than they were. Right? And it's kind of like the Baal Teshuvah thing, Eve being a prophetess and raising us, breaking us down from our goody-goody self to the bottom and then bringing us back up. There's similarities there, but that's what a good coach will do. He starts making you think like, damn, can I even play this thing? And then all of a sudden, boom. And you do it to the people you love. He spends way more time, a coach, doing it to his star players than he does to bench warmers because he sees the potential. And if you look at Ramsey, he grills a lot of the people who end up like winning the show or being top competitors the most, and grills them. And then when he gives them that first compliment, oh, they light up, they shine. And I've had a ton of coaches like this that I just loved, broke me down, and then boom, like, oh, you got it. And, give you that first compliment, and you're like, yeah. You feel good about yourself, and you realize the growth that you're making and you're achieving. And so I think that is super crucial with each other. And men and women who don't play sports, and there's a lot more women out there that don't play sports than men, they take any little like criticism or wanting to change something or break something down a little bit and to make something better into attacks, personal attacks. And the constructive criticism is like, I like how you do this, but I think you could do it a little better this way, or like, I wish you would do it more this way because this way kind of irks me this way, or whatever it is. And not your shit, right? That's a personal attack, or you're crap, or you're no good, or whatever. That's not something a good coach would say. And maybe like it coaches maybe a little bit at the beginning, like, oh, this technique is garbage, right? They're harsher, but to each other, we got to be with love, say it with love. But and I've had known girls. The girl I dated for 9 years, almost 10, 9.5 years, and she didn't really play sports, but she could like listen to whatever it was and take an honest inventory and like hear me out and not take everything as a personal attack. She was good at it. And maybe not as much in the beginning, but when she saw my intentions and my love, she could understand where I was coming from and we could find common ground. And I think that's important. So it doesn't have to be, I don't think girls that play sports or whatever, guys that play sports. I'm sure there's guys like that too. The girls, I don't know. But we're not perfect. And if you think that, you're thinking with ego and you're never going to grow and be better. The people who can't listen to constructive criticism, I think that's the most valuable thing of English classes in college, if you go to college. A good teacher will have you read papers or trade papers with students, and then you get constructive criticism from your peers. And I think that's such a valuable tool. And English majors, I think, get this a lot, and it helps them in that you hear feedback. It's just getting feedback. And, I like this, I like that. And you take it for what it's worth. Like, maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But you should at least honestly consider it, because if it's good constructive criticism, it's showing you places to grow. Martial arts, a lot of the greatest martial artists talk about it's not so much the martial art that makes great men, it's the men themselves. Doesn't matter what martial art they have, right? There's like practitioners. There's no like superior martial art or whatever. But I love the idea that competition is there to teach us about ourselves, right? So it's not about beating another opponent and you showing that your martial art is better than theirs, or that you're a better martial artist than them. It's to show you the strengths and weaknesses in yourself, like where you need to work on in your martial training, where you're strong, what you need to work on. And I think that's what constructive criticism is really supposed to be, is that it's bouncing ideas off, like a verbal sparring, let's call it, or something, in a healthy, loving, friendly way that teaches you your own strengths and weaknesses. And then you can choose to grow from that or not. But I think we lack that in society right now with so much ego. Everybody's so like scared. It's false ego. It's like a glass house of ego, and they're so scared of it shattering. But it's important that we can communicate with each other about our strengths and weaknesses, give each other constructive criticism, healthy discourse about things we like or dislike, or things we think our mates, friends, family, anybody needs to work on, and applaud them. Never forget to applaud them when for the good things too, so that you see that they know that you love them, but there's just something that bothers you. But we got to be able to do that. That's a super crucial aspect of society that we're kind of losing in the age of like heightened egos, and everyone wants to be a superstar, and everybody thinks they're the greatest thing in the world, and everybody gets a trophy and everyone's awesome. You are. The whole universe was made for you, right? And yet you're nothing but dust and breath. Rishon. That's the whole paradox of existence. So like, you are amazing. The day you were born was the day the universe decided it couldn't exist without you. That quote goes. I don't know who said it, but so know that like but it's all about growth here. So be willing to grow and accept criticism and be brave enough to offer criticism, and be willing to work with people. If you love them just like a good coach loves his star players, or like loves a player, they're going to work extra hard on them to help them grow. And that's how we have to be with each other, is that like be able to talk and help each other grow. So I wish everyone the toughness to endure constructive criticism, to be able to be tough enough to offer it, and especially tough enough to receive it in healthy, loving ways that we can grow from it, and not take it as personal assault, or that you hate me, or you hate all these people, or you hate whatever, when we talk about what we need to improve as individuals, as ethnicities and cultures, as countries, as religions, as a world, that we can all, orientations, whatever it is, that we can all find that within ourselves, that toughness to be able to offer it, and most importantly receive it and process it, some things you don't agree with, you're going to toss out. And for good or for bad, or maybe you take a little bit of it, incorporate in your life, the rest. But still listen and be able to take it and not get offended, not get butthurt, not let our ego get sore over it, and actually use it for growth. I wish this blessing for everyone, and let's do this, people. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.